leaves have turned all different colors of red and orange and yellow. They're beautiful. And a lot of them have fallen, but it still feels warm. I have not had many projects, but I have been working behind the scenes to figure out what I want to do with the spaces in my home. And I have been preparing for winter. So I thought I would start a new series on this channel. My musings and my moods. What I'm thinking about what I want to do in my house. What I'm thinking about what I want to do with my life. Some of my favorites. Some of the things that I am reading, watching on television. Just various different topics to supplement the home videos. Because I'm not always doing projects. But I do still want to talk to you guys. So I guess this video is mostly about my thoughts of what I want to do here in the house and what's been going on since I last saw you, since my last video. So I decided to take on a challenge and buy a new plant. I may have shown you this in the last video. I bought a maidenhair fern, and this is what it looked like when I bought it. Here you see me spritzing said maidenhair fern because for whatever reason in my mind, when the salesperson said, oh yeah, just spritz it every day, that equated to, oh, but you don't actually have to water it. Wrong. Look how gorgeous this plant is. But if you know anything about plants, you know that maidenhair ferns are very fickle. This is what she looked like after I realized that I hadn't watered her for like 5 days. And that's a no-no with the maidenhair fern. She was basically letting me know that that was unacceptable and that I was about to lose her. At first, it was really slow. She just started turning brown and some of the leaves were getting crispy. So I thought, okay, I can still save this plant. But then down in the middle, things started looking a little rough. She was definitely not happy with me, and rightfully so, because I know better. I've killed a maidenhair fern before. And even though I realized the error of my ways, I started watering her. This is a few days later. And this is kind of what she looks like now. So I'm definitely being punished for the error of my ways. I did a little bit of research and I decided to make a weak solution of fertilizer, plant fertilizer. I basically diluted it twice. And I've been giving just a little bit every time I water. And I think that I may possibly be saving her. And the only reason why I say that is because if you look really closely, you can see there's some tiny new fronds popping up. We have hope, you guys. I may not kill this fern after all. Even though this is not a home video, I thought I would just pop into some of the rooms and kind of give you guys an update on what I've been doing, what's going on. So here we are back in the laundry room, and this honestly has become my favorite room in the house, but I have not made very much progress at all. Mainly because I'm still waiting for them to come out and fix this space, which houses my sink, or is supposed to. I'm supposed to have a sink here, you guys. And having had the sink for a couple of months, I actually got used to having it. So I can't do things that I normally would do, and I can't really start decorating until this space is resolved. I could start maybe putting wallpaper up and painting the trim. I think I can do that. But other than that, like, I'm going to have to stop doing anything that I start doing once they come and fix it. And it's taken a long time. Almost to the point where I'm getting a little bit annoyed. At this point, I think I'm just going to leave the cubbies the color that they are and then add more cream, more white, and more black to the space. That was not my original vision, but I'm just not sure if I'm ready to tackle painting MDF, which is pretty much what the cubbies are made of. They're not made of real wood. For the price we paid, though, they should have been. I'm annoyed by that too. I'm not necessarily proud of the fact that I have pretty much left the little man's room the same as it was when he left. It's like every time I come in here, I just miss him so much and I just don't want to do it. I don't want to do it. Get somebody else to do it. But he's on his way back. He'll be here in a couple of days. So I got to get his room ready for him again. And I really should have done it. I had just washed his sheets like 2 days before he left. So it's not dirty. It's just not organized. I cannot remember if I showed you guys this room already, but this is the reading room. And I need to take this out of here and put it in my office. But so far, this is what we have. I have this lovely bed, which will serve as a reading nook. And we are thinking about doing built-ins now here, but we'll see. I think I probably told you guys this though, so forgive me if I'm repeating myself, but look at this gorgeous bed. I don't know if my son is going to sleep in here, but I need to get sheets for this bed. I don't know how comfortable this mattress is. He might actually like it because he likes a firm mattress and this is pretty firm. But I just need to get like some sheets because if he's going to sleep here, then he needs this as his bed. If not, and he's going to sleep in here, which I don't think he'll want to, but you never know. And he also has the option of sleeping in the basement as well because there's a bed in there as well. So I don't think he's going to want to sleep in here. I'd be shocked if he did. This bed is one of those softer ones and he's not a fan of soft beds. But both rooms will be set up. All 3 beds will be set up. So whatever he decides is fine. I think he'll probably want to sleep in this room because it's directly across from little man's room. I do not want to go beyond that point because the dog is over there. And as soon as she sees me, she's going to start acting real crazy. But my Amazon box is right there. I have dirt from the plant on my finger. So as you can see, nothing has really changed in this space. So we're not going to talk about it. But look at what's in this space. I found my Chinese mud dolls that we got in Korea. What has it been? 15 years now? I can't believe it's been that long. Wow. And yes, my favorite one is this sassy one right here. She's so fly. And this one is looking like, girl, you're doing way too much. So it is Nonfiction November, and here are a few books that I would love to read this November, but I am reading very slow, you guys, so I don't know if it's going to happen. I especially want to read this one here because this lady, y'all know who she is. It's one of my favorite people. And this one right here, this is what I'm currently reading and really enjoying. Let's talk about it. So this is going to be my first book that I'm reading for Nonfiction November. And then I will decide after reading this if I will continue to read more nonfiction for the whole month or if I will read some of the other books that I am dating. I do have books that I am dating, and it's an interesting concept, and I'm loving it because I'm auditioning books, we'll just say. So I'll be deciding whether or not this will be the only Nonfiction November book, because this was the only nonfiction book that I had on my radar for this month. Although I do have Jada's biography and I have Will's biography, and I feel as though I need to read those during the cozy season. So I may just have a month of biographies. However, I do really want to get through this and start the next book so that I can have discussions with people too about what's currently popular. I don't always go for popular books. I don't always go for what's current, obviously, because I read a lot of nonfiction. I read a lot of biographies. I also like literary fiction too. Because of that, I'm never really reading what's popular. Like, I've never read a Colleen Hoover book. I have 2 that I said that I was going to try, and maybe in between like Christmas and New Year's, you know, when it's that weird time, I might pick up a couple of those books. Which I have a 23 book reading goal for this year, 23 for 23 on Goodreads. If you're not following me on Goodreads, I am there. And if you're interested in books, then that's the place to follow me. I am maybe like 12 books in, maybe. 11, 12 books in. And yet, like, I'm reading this and I want to savor it. I think I may do a separate reading vlog for this because it's that good. When I find a book like this, I don't want to rush it. I don't want to like plow through it because then you don't appreciate it. I think that's why I loved The Secret History so much. I just finished it and it took me months, and I'm glad that I did. I'm glad that I took the time to really read it. And in doing that, it makes me want to go back and reread certain parts. I don't know if that's a book that I want to reread totally. Maybe, I don't know. But it has changed some things for me as a reader. And I see what people say now when they say, like, no, The Secret History has just, like, I don't want, how can I put this without sounding crass? I don't want lazy writing unless that lazy writing is important to the story. You know what I mean? And right now I am loving how Alice writes. So this may be a reading vlog. I did decide to start filming a reading vlog for this book, but I'm going to post that on my other channel, Musings and Moods. But I thought I would give you a little summary of the book here so that if you're interested in reading it or checking out that vlog on my other channel, you can do so. So Everything, Nothing, Someone, I am really enjoying this book primarily because of the writing. At this point, she honestly could be telling a story about anything and I would read it because her voice, her use of the language, the way that she crafts the story and draws you in, makes you feel as though you're right there with her is really pretty amazing. Without giving too much away about the book, we are meeting Alice, whose mother is a famous actress. This is an autobiography, so it is quote unquote a real life story. I say quote unquote because obviously whenever someone does an autobiography or tells a real story, it's kind of left to their interpretation. But this is her story as she's telling it. It turns out that her father was, for lack of a better word, kind of a predator. No, not kind of. He was absolutely a predator. But after about 100 pages in, as far as I know, he has never actually physically touched her, but he still has given off predator vibes and he's done some very unsavory things. Her mother, being the artist that she is or was very much involved in her life and her art and her work, and she lost herself in her work, unfortunately neglecting her daughter. Her father, on the other hand, I think he kind of believed that the daughter was here for his entertainment, and I'll kind of leave it at that. By the time Alice is college age, she finds out that she has dissociative disorder. And I have only made it to that part of the book. So I can't tell you how it ends or give you, any insight on what becomes of Alice because I am literally halfway through the book. But I am doing a reading vlog of it. I don't know exactly when it'll be up, but I do believe that there's a way that I can post that later for you guys if you're interested. But in the meantime, just from what I've read, I highly recommend Everything, Nothing, and Someone by Alice Carrier, which I think I'm pronouncing totally wrong. I'm supposed to be doing laundry right now, and I've been here talking to you guys about books. So if hubby comes in and asks, I've been doing laundry this whole time. We weren't talking about books at all. take some maternity photos of a friend of mine, which I'm really excited about. And the plan was actually to stop at this really cool coffee shop this morning. I was gonna leave early, go to this really cool French coffee shop. I have been there before. If I can find it, I'll insert the footage of it, but I was gonna go stop there. I was gonna have one of their really cool pastries, and then I was going to pick up something for my friend because I missed her birthday. But I got off to a late start because of course I did, right? So I stopped at another store to get her gift, which I got. And you guys, I got her the Prada Paradox, but not I got her the regular one, not the Intense. I may get her the Intense for Christmas. But I smelled the Terry Mugler's Angel. And oh my God, I love that fragrance. They didn't have any more either. Like they had the Alien, which I like too. But the Angel, I had never smelled the Angel. And what have I been doing with my life? I have got to get this fragrance. It's another one of those that even if no one else likes it, I'm getting it for myself. But I think she'll really like the Prada. The Prada is very sweet. The Prada Intense is sweet too, but it's got a little bit of spice to it, but they didn't have it. I was going to get both for her so she could try them both out. She's trying to build her fragrance collection, and we like similar fragrances, so I think she'll like the Prada. I really do. I get a lot of compliments on it when I wear it, so I think she'll like it. Anyway, I'm headed to her house now. And I think I'm right on time because if I had stopped and gone the other place, I definitely would have been late. So let's head to her house this lovely, weirdly sunny, kind of warm fall day. Oh, and I got a tall green tea frappuccino, matcha frappuccino with caramel drizzle. Oh, and my hair is black now too, if you hadn't noticed. And I tell you, if the barista did not make it with love, he was putting the caramel on. And he did a little dance. So I'm looking forward to this on my trip. It should take me about 30 minutes to get there. So me, my green tea frappuccino, and Mariah. All right, see you in a minute. You may or may not know this about me, but I am actually a photographer, a trained photographer. It was one of my concentrations when I went to art school. And I never did it as a business because I love it so much. I always wanted it to be more like a hobby because I wanted to always be in love with taking pictures. I love doing it for events when my friends have events or my family has events. I love doing it for people pretty much just for fun. It's not something that I think I'll ever really charge for or that I would do as a business, but I do enjoy taking photographs. I always have. And I got the opportunity to do a photo shoot for my very dear friend. She's like a sister. Oftentimes your family, they're the people who you choose, not necessarily your biological family. Although biological family is family too, but I have gotten very close to certain people in my life and I could consider them to be just as much family as the family I was born with. Anyway, I did have the opportunity to take some really lovely photos of the family, the growing family, and the cool maternity shoot, and we'll probably do more when the new baby arrives. I enjoy doing this, and it's not something that I think I will ever do for a living. So you have seen the behind the scenes of what I've been up to, my musings and moods, and I do plan on doing more of these types of videos for you so you can just see what's going on, what I've been reading, what creative things I've been getting up to, and the plans for my house. I'm also gearing up for Vlogmas and what that may or may not look like. I'm not sure yet. The Tiny Dictator will be here tomorrow. When this video's up, the Tiny Dictator will be here the next day. So we'll be modifying things to work around his schedule. But in the meantime, just know that I have a lot planned and that I do plan on posting for you guys in the next coming weeks. Bear with me if I don't get things up like right on time, but just know that they're coming, that I'm working. So I'm gonna love you and leave you here. Enjoy these lovely photos, and I will see you in the next one.